you now. And all the roads that lead you there were winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Wonderwall. I said maybe.
I'd use in a band of gold, a promise to heaven hold, my beautiful baby, so beautiful. A sight that I won't forget, white lights on the orchard steps, my beautiful baby, a beautiful bride. Just marry the time you drive away. First dance, then you cut the cake. We say each word and hold a glass of wine. You may kiss the bride. The Father's prayer only angels hear melodies.
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you, the very dearest friends and family of Kristen and Eric. I'd like to offer a special welcome to Eric's parents, Ingrid and Herb, who made this day possible by raising a wonderful groom for us. Oh. It's a great honor to host all of you at this blessed celebration. On behalf of both families, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to travel here and be with us today to share this joyous day. I hope you agree this beautiful setting was worth the trip. Now, I know it's hard to believe that my little girl has grown into a beautiful bride. Kristen was a very happy, energetic child, and from a young age she sought adventure and created fun. As toddlers, Chris and Allie used to climb on top of the chairs to get on top of the kitchen table and dance. So after every meal, we had to take the chairs and put them on top of the table so they were unable to climb up there. Yeah. And one day, while I was at work, of course, Kathy heard them squealing with joy and found they had invented indoor ice skating by squirting hair conditioner on the bathroom floor. And they were skating around there on the tile floor in their bare feet. A few years later, we learned of Kristen's love of travel. We took our first Carnival cruise when the girls were in third grade. And for 2 weeks after we came home, every morning Kristen would go to my wife and say, "I had the dream again. We were on the cruise." Now Kristen has grown into a strong, confident, resourceful woman. I remember in 2011 I needed 5 different versions of TurboTax because she lived in 5 different states that year, covering vacant sales territories. Yeah. But now in adulthood, she still plans fun trips for the twins, Allie and Chris, and sometimes she invites my wife and I to join with them. We accompanied them to Key West and to Dublin and Edinburgh last year. So I think this is really one of the key traits that attracted Eric to Kristen, is that she generates fun and she plans for it. It's a habit. Yeah. And Ingrid, Eric's mom, says that Eric was always looking for fun, so now he's found it in Kristen. As a young boy, Eric's pursuit of fun used to cause family distress. When they were shopping, he would disappear. He was hiding inside the clothing racks at the department store, playing hide and seek. But the rest of his family was playing, "Where the hell is Eric?" Now, it's hard to imagine looking at Eric now that he could really disappear somewhere. But he wasn't always this tall. In fact, when he came back for junior high school basketball, coach didn't recognize him from the previous season because he had grown so much in intermediate year. But that's how he is now. Hi, Levi. Ingrid said that Eric has built lasting friendships since elementary school, and these relationships have endured across the decades. And this made me recall some wisdom from Tony Robbins. Tony says, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And I can see that quality that Eric has built into his life through strong relationships. He's one of the happiest, most optimistic people I know. He's constantly smiling, and it warms my heart that he'll be sharing his light with Kristen. Eric has quickly become a part of our family, and it's been a pleasure to include him on our family vacations. I enjoyed finding out when talking to Ingrid that those trips to Woodloch Pines actually echo some of his childhood, where he spent nights around the campfire roasting marshmallows at his grandparents' retreat in the Poconos also. So fun times, good family times. Kristen and Eric share many traits. I'm happy to see they're both disciplined about their fitness and health. Chef Eric's creations bring novelty and caring to the table for Kristen and their guests. And I'm sure pretty soon Kristen will be humming songs from the War on Drugs. Recently, someone asked my beautiful wife, Kathy, and I how we had reached our 50th wedding anniversary, and I told them another Tony Robbins maxim. There's only two, don't worry. Tony says, the only way a relationship will last is if you see your relationship as a place that you go to give and not a place that you go to take. I know that Kristen and Eric are both generous givers, and they will have a long, happy life together. Now, if you please raise your glasses in a toast to the happy couple. Kristen and Eric, your life together is just starting. We'll get there. And it will take many turns along the way. You'll have your glory days, you'll have your sad days. However, if you have each other, you'll have everything you need, and your family will always be there to support you. Embrace each other, communicate with each other, and make each other number one in your lives. Take these tenets to heart, and you will each grow, and your relationship will blossom to produce a beautiful life together. Slancha, na zdrowie, prozit!
Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we have a few toasts. Now, first, let's welcome Sisters of the Bride, Megan, Heather, and Allison. Come on up.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Hi, everyone. On behalf of me and my sisters, I'd like to thank you for all being here to celebrate this beautiful day. It's truly a very special day, and that's because exactly 1 year ago today, Kristen was seeing Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour. Wow. Toronto, night 2, weekend 1, for anyone curious. And if you come, I'll tell you the surprise songs later if you need to know. So it's Eric, it's safe to say that November 15th will be forever a day KK remembers. And on that note, I do have to say for Eric's sanity that is the last Taylor reference of the night. Yes, it is. It is. No, I think we changed all the playlists for the DJ to Taylor, so we'll figure that out. Yeah, no big deal. But in all seriousness, that trip to Toronto to see Taylor really sums up KK perfectly and who she is to us. So I'm going to let my sisters share more about that. Okay.
So Kristen is someone who can recognize an opportunity to make a special memory and then take on the initiative and planning and work to make it happen. Whether it be the concert and cultural event of our lifetime or organizing our trivia group at Woodloch, Kristen reminds us to get excited about having events and experience to look forward to and to sharing them with the people you love. As we move through different phases of life, it is so meaningful to share these moments together, and we are so lucky to have Kristen often leading us in that way. I am so grateful to have such a dedicated and cool and fun aunt to my children. She is not only quick to include them in her interests, but also embrace and experience their interests with genuine enthusiasm. Too many cocktails. My kids light up sharing stories of our times at Woodloch and Disney, going down the water slides with Aunt KK, Eric shuttling Lena around the lake as a kayak passenger princess, Lena not knowing a single trivia answer, me either, but loving watching and being a part of the aunties, and Eric enjoying spending time together, and KK being this super cool and important displayer of our group's answers. Kristen and Eric being excited to see and pose with Vampirina at breakfast, even before Lena explained to them who she was. Lena having the best views of the parades and fireworks on Eric's shoulders. We are so lucky Eric immediately embraced our family and values the time we spent together. We are so excited about them taking this next step together and continuing to make memories together. I love you.
I really wish that I printed mine in a larger font. Bear with me. Speaking of special memories, and thinking about what to talk about tonight, what came most immediately to mind, you'll see a theme here among all the speeches from our family, were all of the fun times I had with Kristen growing up and into adulthood. Being only 2 grades apart throughout our lives gave us a special closeness and intimacy with each other's lives. We drove to school together for years. We were on the same high school swim team. We knew each other's friends and social circles and even attended some of the same parties. The fun continued in Philadelphia, where I loved visiting you at St. Joe's, watching you flourish in your new setting and in your sorority. And we always had a blast at Spring Fling each year, where you fit in seamlessly with all of my college friends. I knew anytime I offered you a chance to do something fun, you would not miss the opportunity. The cruise we took together for spring break one year was a particular highlight and memory I look back on fondly. And while I can't remember the details of the itinerary, I have no doubt it was planned fully by you, with the rest of us tagging along on whatever adventures you selected. Now, as full-grown adults, I love making more memories with you down in Avalon, and the addition of Eric and Breezy have been fantastic. In particular, it's been special watching you and Uncle Eric spend time with Levi. Levi loves waiting on the front porch for you to arrive with Breezy, and he's always looking forward to your next hot tub date. He still talks about the New Year's Eve party last year and when we can have you back over for snacks and s'mores making. I personally am looking forward to another round of Eric's onion dip. Eric brings such a lighthearted, easygoing vibe to a family where all 4 daughters are fire signs. And there's only 3 in the zodiac, and we've got all 3 of them. As one memorable example, Eric was completely unfazed when, due to his height, our ceiling fan hit him very hard at full speed. Eric was not concerned about being injured at all, and only whether our fan was broken, which we did not care about, and somehow it was not broken, which was a miracle. It has been wonderful getting to know Eric on these beach visits and seeing how well he complements your personality and the dynamics of our family. As you and Eric enter the next chapter of your lives, we're so excited to make more memories with you in Avalon and beyond.
All right, I'm gonna close it down. All right. All I have is Taylor Swift? All right. So, as most of you know, KK, or we call her KK. Her name's Kristen, but KK. KK and I are incredibly close. Eric might say too close? I said, no, not possible. When I ran into an old coworker recently, she asked me for a life update. So I naturally, immediately blurted out, my sister's getting married. She looked me dead in the face and said, oh no, she's leaving you? Even when we were 5 years old and moved into a new house, with one of the main purposes being that KK and I would have our own rooms. Well, that lasted about a week, and our parents had to upgrade KK's bed from a twin to the full. So that I could sleep in her room for the next 10 years. I still sleep there when we go home. People often come up to us and ask if we're twins. It's usually followed up with a, it must be so fun. And the two of us in unison say, it is! Because it truly is. We literally have the most fun together. Whether we're traveling, running, sitting on the beach, watching Dateline, or just chatting over red wine, it is always my favorite time. As Megan had noted, KK is literally the best at making the most of life, and I'm so lucky that she pushes me to do the same. Another thing that defines KK is her generosity, especially with the people that she loves. She loves to show it through gifts, her thoughtfulness, and through her time, but really the gifts. I've come home to my apartment, where she does not live, to a new TV. Just because. She just showed up when I was on a business trip, and she's like, I thought you could use a new TV. And when she was between jobs, instead of wallowing or binging shows, she spent several days a week volunteering at a soup kitchen, giving back to complete strangers and showing her kindness to them. While it's not always easy having a third wheel, Eric has handled our is it me that's the third wheel or Eric? I'm not sure. We still haven't, it's a hot topic. Eric has handled our twin dynamic with such understanding and patience. He balances KK perfectly. He's always up for her ideas. He's grounded and kind and truly a partner to her in every sense. Some may call KK type A. She's nonstop productive. She just goes and goes and goes. And I love how Eric seems to keep up, even matching her, often saying to her, what do we want to accomplish this weekend? Or even him deciding to go back to school. They're so in sync. And my sisters and I are so happy that KK has found Eric, and we're so lucky to call him our brother. Our biggest wish for the two of you is a lifetime of love, happiness, and endless adventures. We love you. Cheers to Eric and Kristen. And I will now welcome the best man, Mr. Chance.
All right, everybody. Give me 1 second. I got to bring it up here. All right. Hello, everyone. Please, no Drake jokes, Eric, please. Hello, everyone. My name is Chance, and I'm honored to be Eric's best man and to celebrate him entering the transfer portal and becoming a husband to the lovely Kristen. I want to say thank you to the Becks and the Sikorskis and a huge congratulations on such a wonderful day. There is a saying that misery loves company. No. That has nothing to do with Kristen and Eric, but instead with Eric and I. Eric and I met fall semester at East Stroudsburg in a psych class. I sat behind Eric, and we shared our passion for a franchise with the most losses in professional sports, your Philadelphia Phillies. If this guy was okay for rooting for such putrid baseball, then he will work for a lab partner, and I'll give Psych 101 a shot. This turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. Eric and I kept in touch sophomore and junior year, but senior year is when we became really close. Eric and I did a lot of normal fun things that year. Me dragging Eric to play pickup basketball despite him faking injuries. An entire finals week watching Home Alone 1 and 2 every night by ourselves. And of course, my favorite, rewatching his high school basketball highlights. We were very popular. After college, we did more fun, normal things together, like meeting up on random evenings to go on movie dates. While most young adults are actively looking for their significant other, in my mind, where else was I gonna find a person who would drive to watch movies with me at 7 p.m., discuss the movie, and then obsess over the art of entry passes and pick and roll defense? Life was perfect. It couldn't get any better. I'm obviously kidding. I have a lovely wife. Her name is Devin. She is here. Devin, you know how much I love you. As you can tell, we were free agents in the dating scene, really trying to make it work with girls. We were almost too successful. Time continued to pass, and Eric and I maintained that strong relationship as we entered adulthood. I don't have to list all the normal things we continue to do. I think you guys get the picture. One of the best things about Eric is how consistent he is with his friendships. Eric, you have always consistently been there and a positive presence for your friends in their highest and lowest points. You are as consistent as Tobias Harris was at missing a wide open three, and at Nick Castellano swinging at a low and outside slider. While those two brought pain and misery to many people because they're absolute hacks, you bring so much happiness and joy to them, and of course to Kristen. Kristen and Eric obviously met during a fun event called March Madness at a local watering establishment on South Street called Founding Fathers. When they exchanged contact information, Eric put her in his address book as Kristen FF. I am not sure if this has changed, but it could still be Kristen FF in his phone. Yeah, it still is. Yeah. It's the bit that never dies. I do remember Eric being very excited to tell me about her, and I was excited as well. Kristen was exactly the partner Eric was looking for, and when I met her, I could see the chemistry right away. Kristen has this natural ability to get along with anyone she meets, but I could see the way she literally looked up at Eric and talked to him that she would be the one. Eric immediately started caring for her in ways that were different from what I've seen. Kristen, I say this in the best possible way, but you have made Eric a softer person than he already was. There is a soft interior to him that the people closest to him get to see, and that is because he loves them and will do anything for them. You have now taken the #1 seed in his heart and his life. Eric cares about you so deeply, and I couldn't be happier for the both of you and what the future will hold. Maybe you can drag him to the Taylor Swift's Era Tour 2050, or maybe one of your 72-hour trips to Europe that you somehow pull off. Eric, during your speech to me, you said, "I never leave a man behind." Eric, I legit can't leave you behind. You're 6'5", can see over crowds, and have strides that even if I get a head start with my Hobbit legs, you're immediately there. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I love you so much. I love you, Kristen, so much. I know there's not a lot of drinkers in the house, but if you do, please grab your glasses and toast them to Kristen and Eric. And go Birds, baby.